Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by DrRoto.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to a live episode of DrRoto.com, and you're going to have the entire staff here tonight. We're doing the staff draft. You got me, Sam, you got Danger here, and we've got everyone joining us at different points in the draft tonight. Danger, are you excited for this one?
Oh man, am I excited to not only commish this league, but be here with you, hosting, trying to break it down, all on a platform I've never used. How much Sleeper have you used?
I'm pretty familiar with the Sleeper app, so I'm pretty excited.
Right.
I'm also just excited that I get to draft amongst all of you. So I'm excited for the banter back and forth when we each snipe each other's players, because we're all very attuned to who our favorite players are. So that's going to be really fun too.
That's right. All right. We got a 12-team PPR, all staff members right here, DrRoto.com. If you are not catching this live, if you're catching this live, I don't care. Either way, make sure you head over to DrRoto.com. You still have time to get in on our draft guide. You still have time to get that 10% off with promo code WIN.
And then you're going to get all the fun draft tools. So you're going to have all the projections, the rankings, all the rookie insight, everything you possibly need to win your draft. I've got this draft tonight. I've got another draft tomorrow. I'm sure other people are just packing on the drafts right before Thursday.
I like it. We're not going to kick this off for another 18 minutes yet. So let's talk about a little breaking news.
Let's do it.
The New Orleans Saints released Lat Murray.
Why? It's so sad. I just feel so bad for these guys to get released just right before the game. I mean, I understand all the financial reasons why they do these things, but Lat Murray's going to get picked up really quick, don't you think?
Oh, I think so. I mean, come on. Le'Veon Bell signed today.
I know. Honestly, when I saw that Lat Murray got dropped, I was like, well, they're going to try and get someone cheaper. I wonder if Lev Bell's going to sign there. And then we got the news that Bell signed with the Ravens. I was like, what?
All right. So are you in on Tony Jones?
No. No, I think that Alvin Kamara is going to be a very tired man, and they're going to have to end up signing someone else.
Right. All right. What about Lev Bell in Baltimore? Does it move the needle at all? I really don't care. I think Tyson is still going to be number 2.
No, I agree. And I think if anything, it's just depth on a team that is a run-first offense. So if you wanted to take a dart throw very late on Lev Bell, I wouldn't question it. I mean, he's going to have some sort of volume because it's such a run-heavy team. And at some point, you're going to have to give the other guys a break. So I just don't think he's someone you can count on week to week. I don't think he's a flex option. But maybe depending on how the season pans out, if there's a couple injuries, he could see a bit more work.
What do you think of the depth chart being released by the New York Jets today with Ty Johnson ahead of that group?
It's interesting, but I'm also not surprised because the Jets do some funny things, don't they?
They really do. We here at DrRoto, at least a few of us, are pretty high on Michael Carter eventually taking that job. He's very talented, but it might be a few weeks, even more now, before he gets his shot.
That's what I'm thinking, but I also think that the Jets just don't want to mess with everyone because no one really knows what this offense is going to look like until we actually see it in a full game. Like, obviously, we saw some preseason stuff, but that's a whole snow globe on its own. This is the real thing. We're starting this week, so we're finally going to see what this offense looks like. Does Zach Wilson have everything he needs? I'm hearing all the hype that he's going to end up being a top 5 quarterback. Some people are coming out there saying it's a lot of tall talk for someone that doesn't look like they're old enough to drive. So I just would like to see it first.
So who looks like, they might actually be seen at a college bar and not get ID'd? Zach or Mac? Which one's getting ID'd first?
Zach is going to get ID'd first.
Yeah.
I think that unfortunately Mac has a bit of a tired look going on, so that just kind of adds a couple 8 years to
and he's got that dad bod too.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of the dad bod. I mean, Zach's got the prom king look, so that's why he's gonna get carded first.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a couple of great waiver wire articles already on DrRoto.com. I know lots of people have drafted. Waivers for the most part open tomorrow or clear tonight. I have one league that cleared last night already. There's some great information in there. Definitely go check that out for premium NFL Insider subscriptions. But anybody you're looking at on your waiver wires to maybe pick up tomorrow. I know we did the Scott Fishbowl draft like a month ago, and half my team is injured or not starting anymore. So I've got like 6 waivers placed for that.
I know it's just going to be dart throws across the board when you're in a deep league like that. It's just who else is actually on a team? Okay, I'm going to go and grab them on a waiver wire. I think it's a bit soon for me in some leagues. I'm very grateful in one of my dynasty leagues that, knock on wood, I didn't have to make any waiver wire pickups, and I have such a stacked bench that I'm not willing to drop someone off my bench right now for that waiver wire flyer yet. But we're hitting week 1, so maybe I'll have a different tune next week.
I can dig that. I'm pretty interested in Callaway. For all the early drafts, obviously, he probably wasn't rostered. He has been, obviously, over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But, I'm really interested. I put in a waiver in my Scott Fishbowl. I know we're not in the same one, so we can be safe talking about that. But
which one are you in?
Mariah Carey, I believe.
That's interesting.
I think
was that a top pick of yours when you were submitting your bands that you wanted to be a part of?
Big fan.
No
Best
idea.
Christmas album ever.
Can you sing us a couple bars?
I'm not going to do that to you. But I know that there's a man who will sing a couple bars if his name is called. He has the first pick overall in about 13 minutes. Our main man, Heat Override. Heat, what you got? Pat Mahomes, number 1?
Oh, no way, brother, man. It's none other than Mr. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So there it is. It don't even need to be picked. Christian McCaffrey's coming to the Pain Bringers.
All right, Kickman, you heard it. Now you know what to do. All right. Heat, we'll bring you back on.
Dalvin Cook.
I like it. We'll bring you back on in a few minutes when the draft starts. We still got about 12 minutes or so. All right, Kick. I just saw it, man. You're wearing this Vikings jersey, so Mr. Cook you're happy to hear that.
Absolutely. I'm excited. This will be the first time I've had him all season. I haven't had a pick better than 5 all season long.
Isn't it wonderful to have a player you can just root for?
Yeah, it's the best. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt now.
Right.
But I'm sure that means that you'll be grabbing Alex Madison later.
Absolutely. That you can be assured of.
All right. I like it. We're breaking down the secrets here. Thanks, Kick. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Cam is going to be joining us just in the draft. He's not on the broadcast tonight, but Jason Braddock, you have the pick right behind Cam. All right. You got 2 left. Who are you hoping comes to 4? Or are you holding that close to the chest?
No, I don't have to. Everyone thinks I'm probably overvaluing the guy a little bit longer. People like Alvin Kamara a little bit more, or Derrick Henry. My pick at 4 is going to be Ezekiel Elliott. Cam's not going to snipe me. We're good friends. Doesn't that hold up in fantasy? Friendship?
That's right. Friendship.
Okay, thank you.
I love it. Oh, man, we're getting deep now. So we've got it pretty much worked out there. I'm going to go to Rumac. I think he's on the line. He is. All right, Matt Rumac, you are behind Jason. So, I am a huge fan of Austin Eckler this year. You don't have to give away. You're like pick number 5. But is Eckler in consideration for pick number 5 in a PPR? Oh, you're muted, my friend. You're muted.
All right.
There you go.
He's in consideration. I thought I was going to get Zeke, but apparently not. So I think I have the easiest pick in the draft. Don't I just take whichever top 5 running back is left?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, PPR might throw a wrench in that for some people.
I could skip Henry for that reason. So we'll see.
You could. All right.
That's fine. If Henry falls to 10, I'll take him.
Fair enough. Well, he won't, because if he gets to 8, he'll be on my team. So I'm just saying. Brilliant. All right. Thanks, Rumac. We'll see you in a little bit. We're joined also at some point by Mr. Ron Rigney. We've got Bob Lung of the Consistency Report. We've got, of course, myself. Sam is here. Managing editor Matt Brandon is with us. Let's say hi to him real quick. Matt, you're kind of bringing up the rear, aren't you? Where you at here?
I got pick 11. I'm not too concerned about it. I like being close to the turn. Get 2 picks, basically back to back. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm going, but I'm definitely looking at a nice PPR machine at the running back position, and I'm liking a couple receivers at that pick 11/14. So expect a running back wide receiver duo from me.
I like it.
I'm excited for Matt and I to be sniping each other back and forth.
I know you're going to snipe me all day long. I'm ready.
It's so fun.
All right. We're also going to be adding our friend at Pros with Joe's. Pros and Joe's. Pros with Joe's. Pros and Joe's.
Pros with Joe's.
I know. I'm terrible host. And Roto Daddy. Why am I blanking on whose name is Roto Daddy? I only have the team names in front of me. Sorry.
Talking about Eric?
Eric? Is it Eric? Yeah, it could be Eric. Yeah.
We've all met before.
Oh, Doug. There we go. Doug is who we're missing. Yeah.
We've got a very full green room, guys. We've got a lot of people to juggle, so we can all get everyone's takes as soon as they've made a pick in this draft.
We got
now that I know everyone's picks, I'm kind of trying to go through and queue up a few players now that I can see some of your cards.
Yeah, I'm definitely using this for the first time, so I don't really know what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to put some people's up here. So, we got the private chat here going on in the comments on the page. People are trying to trade picks. None of that now. None of that. You're going to make things confusing for me. So we got about 8 minutes left. What are you most excited for this year, Sam? Outside of your love of Pittsburgh, no Pittsburgh talk.
Deary, why can't I? You said, what are you most excited about? And then you said, don't talk about Pittsburgh. That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me. My God. I can't talk about Najee Harris just to start this off for like 2 minutes.
Of course. Hit it.
I'm just so excited to have this incredibly dynamic running back that's going to be such a weapon, not just in the rushing game, but in the passing game. He's so dynamic. He is an amazing route runner. I cannot wait to watch him play. Do I think I'm going to get lucky enough to land him in this draft? Probably not, because all of you guys know how much I love my Steelers. So that means that someone's going to take him away from me. But if I can get him, I totally will.
Well, I probably won't take him from you at 8. So you'll be safe from me. At least. Angel Cruz watching on Facebook. Best of luck, y'all. My draft wasn't as exciting, but hoping for a great season. I mean, it's going to be exciting. I don't know if it's going to be good drafting, but it's going to be exciting tonight.
It's always fun to do a live draft, especially even if it's online, just with everyone going back and forth and having, the banter and taking each other's players. It's one of the best parts about drafting to me is the camaraderie as you're drafting and then, the shit talking that goes in between.
Absolutely. And, yeah, we did this live from the Draft for Upside podcast last year, and I tried to main host that, and I misclicked 4 picks while trying to explain why I was going to pick them. So let's hope I do better than that this time.
I mean, I hope that you do well, but as someone that's drafting against you, I hope you also do poorly. So
that's right. Reminding anybody that's listening, you feel free to drop comments in. We will try to get to them as I see them come up. I'll do the best I can. And of course, tell us about what we have at DrRoto.com besides the draft kit, Sam. What else we got over there?
Besides the draft kit, we have a plethora of amazing articles by our entire team. We have some DFS content that you are not going to want to miss. If you are at all a fan of DFS or even curious about getting into it, there are so many things that you guys can get and immediately get wins this week. Also, you can if you subscribe, you can join us over on our Discord and then get your questions immediately answered by any of our team. That way, you guys have all the things that you need, not only to set your lineups week to week, but to set your DFS lineups and all the other amazing fantasy that we have outside of football as well.
Oh, for sure. We have one of the top esports players in the entire world with Chris Emmerich, giving us all kinds of esports stuff. He also does football, a few other things. We've got college football. We've got some betting previews. We've got the members exclusive Discord where we'll actually answer your specific questions. We've got all of Doc's podcasts. Of course, Lou Landers and the baseball crew. I believe Kickman is going to do some hockey this year with Mark, and that's going to be great. We have NASCAR, MMA, you name it. It's all here.
It's all here. And it's a one-stop shop. You don't need to go anywhere else. We got you completely covered.
Yeah. And then, Chris Emmerich says play Kevin Na every single week. So he's not wrong. He really isn't.
I mean, thanks to the amazing knowledge that you guys all have, probably, within the next couple of months, I will just have disappeared from my friends and family, and they're just gonna be like, I thought you only recorded a podcast once a week. Yes, but I am so deep into all my sports betting now that I can't spend time with other people.
That's right. No, it's true. It's true. All right. So this is going to kick off here in about 5 minutes. I want to remind everybody it's a 12-team PPR draft. It is is it 6 point? You know what? I've already forgotten.
I thought you were the
4 point or
commissioner.
6 point? I was, but I told you I haven't used this app before, so I'm like second guessing myself.
And it's
I'm
not
in like
super flex. Why'd you do that to me?
It's not super flex.
So
it's not third round
mean.
reversal.
I'm glad for that. That always messes me up.
Why am I blanking? Somebody's got to look this up for me because I can't do it right now. We are double flex though. Double flex.
Yeah.
Not super flex, but double flex. So you can play 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and then 2 double flexes, wide receiver, running back, or tight end, kicker, and defense. 4 point per touchdown for QB. Thank you, Heat. Appreciate you. Yeah, we've got everybody in the room except for Bob Lung and let's see, Doug and Cam are not going to be joining us.
Aww.
So
that's because they don't want to tell us who they're going to pick when. They just don't want to show their cards.
I think we're missing Nick and we're missing Bob. So maybe they will join us at some point. So, I'm a huge 49ers fan.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
No, wait, really quick, because I have to digress because that's how I podcast.
Please do.
You have the sticker on the bill of your hat. Do you not take that off on purpose? I always take mine off.
All right, you want to know the truth?
Yes, I do.
So I bought like 3 49ers hats and I told my wife I was going to keep one and send the others back. So I left the stickers on them, but now it's been like 6 months and I don't think I can return them anymore. Oops. So I'll be taking those off after this. So it's fine.
I like the honesty. That's amazing.
I assume she's not listening. So,
she's probably in the next room. Like, damn it, I knew this whole time he was going to keep these hats.
I know it, right? Did you see my latest purchase?
No.
Let's see if I can. I'm going to take my headphones out so I can stand up.
Okay. Try and narrate this the best way that I can. All right. I'm guessing it's a flag. Oh my goodness. Feeling dangerous. Love it. Is that Baker Mayfield?
That's a Baker Mayfield feeling dangerous flag.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And how is that not hung up already and hanging behind you?
It just came today. And I didn't want to sully my beautiful DrRoto Media Network.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I need to get a sticker that I can put up, like one of those stickers that everyone was getting of the players. That
the fat heads?
Yeah, I need to get one of those of the DrRoto logo back here.
I love it. All right. Now I got to go back to the sleeper act, and I have to actually look to see how I get into the draft.
This is why you have multiple screens. I've got iPads. I've got phones. I've got everything here, so I don't mess it up.
I've got phones. Yeah, draft room. Draft room. That's the button you push to get into the draft room. You push the button labeled draft room.
And now you're there. It's like, it's like watching someone learn how to walk. It's just an amazing thing.
All right.
I can't wait for you to accidentally put the filter on and be like, why can't I find my player? Oh no, I was only looking at wide receivers.
Oh, well, I have only starred 12 running backs so far in my queue. So this is going to be amazing.
Just the top 12 you just immediately put in the queue, just in
pretty
case.
Much. All right. We're about, a few seconds away from this kickoff. So let's bring Heat in here for a minute.
Yes.
Mr. Heat, you are on mute. Don't forget you're on mute. Thank you.
Yeah. What's going on? Sam, Danger Man. Feeling dangerous. Yeah.
So no hesitation on CMC. None for you.
Hell no, man. Last year when that man played like not even like a whole season, he put up a better season than like any other running back that had like under like 500 yards. He is dynamite. And the way they use him is amazing. In a PPR, that's like the godsend of all foods.
Yeah, I dig it, man. All right, well, we know what you're doing, so we're just gonna, come back to you in about 30 minutes when you get pick number 2. So,
I know. Wait, really quick then, because you've got the number 1 pick now. I'm sure that you've had a ton of drafts where you're drafting from number 1. How do you feel about that long wait after drafting the 101 spot?
All right, so to match that, I haven't had many number 1s. I'm at the back because I usually try to win. But in random leagues, when I am up at the top 3, it's hard to pan that out when you come back around. So immediately my first thought is always go for the best running back or go for who I might want in that position. I actually had a decent draft the other day and I got Najee Harris when I came back around, which was really nice. And then I matched it up with a receiver.
Wow.
So that's
all right, my friend.
thing.
The draft is live. You have 1 minute and 21 seconds to select Christian McCaffrey.
Well, they don't say I'm live yet.
Oh,
let's go into it.
Let's go. Watch. All of a sudden, he's going to pull a switcheroo and draft like Josh Allen.
Best of luck, Heat. We'll catch you on the come around. Well, that was really a no-brainer. I don't like the number 1 pick because
you don't.
I just hate it. It puts so much pressure on McCaffrey to stay healthy, to put up those numbers, and you have to wait so long to draft. I hate it.
I know the waiting does suck. And I agree with Heat that if I'm going to be on the end, I actually do prefer being between like the 10 and 12 spot as well, which I'm sitting at 10 now. So I'm excited for that. But last year when I got the number 1, I was so excited because I'm like, this is my year. I'm going to get Christian McCaffrey. And then he got hurt. So I totally get that as well, where you're just like, no, don't get hurt, please.
Yeah. And just a heads up to everybody drafting and listening, I am probably going to randomly pause this draft here or there for us to decompress, round or so. So,
I mean, I know I would appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're looking pretty similar to what I expected here. CMC, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Jay Taylor, Travis Kelce goes off the board. Not unusual at the 7th pick for a PPR. And it's come to me now. Hey.
Oh shoot! Dang, that was quick.
It's you know what? I talked about it, right? I said that I loved him. I said I would take him at number 5, and since he's sitting at number 8, I'm gonna go ahead and take Mr. Austin Eckler.
Damn you! I knew it. I mean, I love Austin Eckler there, and he's gonna be amazing this year. So I definitely am not mad at that pick. I'm on the clock now. And I'm going to not hesitate to go ahead and take Devontae Adams there, because if I'm not going to get one of those top running backs, and I just saw Aaron Jones went ahead of me, which makes me cry inside, I'm going to take the number 1 wide receiver, and I'm not going to feel bad about that at all.
No, I can dig it. All right, we got Matt Brandon to pick here, and then we'll finish it off with the fantasy nav.
Let's go. I'm really excited about Devontae Adams. I don't own him on a lot of leagues because I always miss out on him. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I have gotten a lot of like 9, 10, 11 drafts. So I've been pretty wide receiver heavy at the beginning for me because I play mostly PPRs. I'm going to pause the draft very briefly.
Brief pause.
Very briefly.
Bear with us.
All right. Let us go over this again. CMC number 1, Dalvin Cook number 2, Derrick Henry number 3, Ezekiel Elliott number 4, Alvin Kamara number 5, Jonathan Taylor number 6, Travis Kelce tight end number 7, Eckler number 8, Jones number 9, Adams 10, Hill 11, Chubb 12. Honestly, not a single shock. All is as it should be.
Oh wow, that went so fast that my phone didn't even update. So I got to rejoin the draft. Wait, but you paused it, right?
I did pause it.
Sweet.
No real surprises there, right?
No surprises there. I think everyone went where they should have. So now with the turn, we get to figure out, okay, Nick Chubb goes the last of the first round. So who is he going to pair that up with?
All right. Well, let's let him at it, shall we?
Let's go.
There we go. We have resumed. You're back on the clock, my friend.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. So excited. I just get so happy drafting. Is that weird?
Right?
Just to be that excited about drafting all the time?
We've got a Gibson to round it out. So a couple of big running backs. Ooh, Barkley.
Oh, okay.
Barkley.
And I'm not going to feel bad about this pick at all. I'm taking Najee Harris in the second round. I'm not missing out on my boy. Let's go. This is an exciting team.
Coming to you. I'm going to pause this at the end of the second round, and we're going to bring a couple of these drafters in. How's that sound?
Let's go.
All right. Stephon Diggs goes right before me.
Yep.
So I've got Austin Eckler. Man, I tell you, maybe I'm too heavy on him. Maybe I've taken him a few too many times. But I'm going to stick right to it. I really like his potential in the short dump-off game because that front line is a disaster. Joe Mixon, welcome to the team.
See, I can never bring myself to take Joe Mixon. Maybe it's because I'm such a Steelers fan and it makes me sick to take a Bengal. But at the same time, he always lets me down for what I want out of him every year. But I don't hate him where you just got him. I think that's a good value.
Yeah, I think second round, pairing him not as my running back 1 is, and I'm going to hopefully get some nice deep value, but I don't know about deep value with this crew, people. I don't know. We're going to be all
I know it's going to be slim pickings by the 4th round easily.
Yeah.
Because we're drafting with a bunch of sharks.
You know it. Mandatory Montgomery goes off the board with D-Hop right after that to Ron. We got Rumock on the clock. Like I said, guys, we are going to pause briefly at the end of the 2nd round, and we'll bring some people in. I would really like to bring people in while we're drafting, but I feel like that's distracting to me. So I'm going to have to just pause every now and then.
I think people will understand that you are, you're the host of this party right now. So we have to cater to you. It's fine. We'll let the party can take the pace that you want it to.
What do you personally think of Hopkins over Metcalf in a PPR?
Hopkins is just okay. Well, first of all, everyone knows that DK Metcalf is a beast. I mean, he's insane. He's an absolutely insane athlete. But in terms of the target volume that I feel like Hopkins is going to have with Murray very consistently and how he can extend the play, I just like him that little bit more than Metcalf.
Fair enough. I have them basically the same, but I personally prefer Metcalf just a touch more, but I'm not upset.
Is it because of the abs? Is that why you prefer him?
Yeah, man.
The abs and the crop tops. I get it.
I think he's got like a 10 pack down there. He's
10 or 12.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we
Patrick
had Mahomes
goes
210 to Cam. I'm okay with that. I mean, I prefer him more in a 6-point for quarterbacks. But you could maybe see him run a little bit more. He shied away from running at the end of last season because he had that shoulder injury. So if he can pick back getting those short yardage gains again, it could be valuable. So we're waiting on Heat to take his last pick of the 212, and then we'll pause for just a minute, bring some people up.
Yeah, let's talk about their picks.
That's right.
Calvin Ridley went just after Mahomes.
Of course, Cam's not here to talk about that pick. For me, it's a little early for a quarterback. We have a 2-flex league, so I feel like doubling up on position players is more my speed. But who am I to say? I took Mahomes in first round in one of my drafts earlier this year. So we're going to take a quick pause here. Let's see. Who haven't we talked to yet? We haven't talked to who didn't come on yet. Ron hasn't come on yet. So let's go ahead and bring Mr. Ron Rigney in. Ron, how are you, friend?
Hey, sir.
What's up, kids? How are you?
Good. Hanging out.
All right. You take a sexy young back in Jonathan Taylor and follow it up with that D-Hop. Why is it you like D-Hop more than Metcalf?
I don't really. It just comes down to I like them both. And we were talking about this before we went on. I think I picked in the middle of this round or at the turn in about every draft that I've done. So it's like I have two groups of teams. I end up with the same players at 6, and I end up with the same players at like the turn. So I just don't have a lot of D-Hop this year. I like the offense. I like the fact that they've added tons of weapons there. Cliff Kingsbury with Kyler Murray for another offseason. I feel like they're going to score a ton of points. I don't know how good they're going to be defensively, especially in that secondary, especially early on without Malcolm Butler. They're going to get scored on quite a bit, I think. They're going to have to keep up somehow, and I think DeAndre Hopkins is the key to that. And he's just, with myself and Mr. Bob Long over at Big Guy, we do the consistency stuff that we brought to DrRoto as well. Check that out. Shameless plug there. D-Hop has been at the top of those consistency rankings at wide receiver, it seems like forever. And if he's not 1, he's right there at 2 or 3. So you're going to get points from him every week.
Love it. All right. Well, thanks, Ron. We'll bring you back in a little while later. Matt Brandon. Are you picking Barkley because you're a freaking giant homer? Or are you really trusting him to go out there and put 17 games together?
So I will tell you, yes, I'm a big Giants fan, but that's not why I picked him. I always go with fantasy over reality. I trust my instinct. I trust my gut. And my gut is telling me, yes, Barkley's not going to get the full workload in week 1, but I expect him to be totally fine by week 2. The Giants don't have a great offense. The offensive line scares me, but I think Daniel Jones is going to throw a ton of dump offs to Saquon. I don't. Kenny Galladay is going to be very good. Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, nothing too special. So I needed a running back there. I took Tyreek Hill in round 1 and just figured why not take a round 1 talent in round 2.
I dig it. All right. Well, let's keep this going. We'll bring some more people in at the next turn, shall we? So we will resume the draft. So Heat took Keenan Allen and Josh Jacobs to go with McCaffrey. Keenan Allen, man, I feel like still today, the common man feels Keenan Allen has some injury risk. But honestly, since they moved to LA, I mean, has he really missed any time?
I don't think that he has. I'll check it. But I mean, I agree. I feel like he is someone that people sleep on and forget about. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that, Hopkins is just a little bit more of an exciting player that people like talking about because he's got those big plays. He has those crazy catches. I don't know that we just don't see as many crazy top 10 Sports Center highlights out of Keenan Allen, and that's why people sleep on him. But he definitely doesn't get the respect he deserves, especially with someone like Herbert under center and heaving the ball at him.
All right. We're getting some heat from some of the players not on the broadcast about these pauses, so maybe I'll wait a little longer for the next one. How's that?
Sounds good. Let's just bookend. Let's let the third and fourth go, and then we'll do another one. That way we have a couple more players and stacks that we can talk about, because then we can really start to see how these teams are shaping up.
Absolutely. I want to talk to Jason real quick. Jason, you ready? Okay. I'm going to talk to Jason real quick.
Yeah, what you got?
Hey, Jason, I just have this gut feeling that that CEH is not going to pay off. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Almost any running back that gets in that Kansas City backfield is just guaranteed 4.5 yards per carry. Defenses, defenses have to worry about Travis Kelce, best tight end in the game. Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest receivers in the game. And then you got Patrick Mahomes that can get it to Marcus Robinson, McCole Hardman on some jet sweeps. Different things they can do. That offensive line is incredible. They almost won the Super Bowl last year, and Pat Mahomes had 5 guys from McDonald's out there blocking for him. This year, they go out and they revamp the entire offensive line. You still get those stars back, but now you get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, year 2, another year more developed. I think he's going to blossom this year. And in a PPR system, he's going to catch Will Rouse and take him to the house.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Okay. All right. I mean, I still got that gut feeling. I'm not super high on him, so I'll let you take that risk. We'll talk soon, though.
All right.
All right. I went ahead and added Justin Jefferson. He's actually top 5 in my PPR rankings. So I'm pretty happy to get him at 3.8, Sam. And are you on the clock right now?
I am, and I just took Josh Allen. I was going back and forth between a couple people, and I only have one other share of Josh Allen this season, and I'm really excited to have him in that team that I have. So I kind of want to see how my team shapes out going with the wide receiver running back and then having Allen, who could potentially finish number 1 at the position by the end of the season.
Well, best of luck to you. I'm going to collect a little bit, hopefully from some people who feel like donating. Nothing required for this league, but I want to buy one of those fantasy football championship belts.
I would love a belt. Thank you so much for buying me one.
We were talking about that. So,
you can give me one
I'll
of
get
those
your
hats
opinion.
too.
Do you want it to be white leather, black leather, brown leather? I mean, what really goes well for you?
I think black leather is kind of classic. That would be a good look. Although white leather does scream, look at me. So that's also a good look. Right. And then if you get a brown one, that's a fall color. So it fits with the season. So I think that would be nice too. There's a lot of positives to both. I would just really want a gold buckle. Just a big gold buckle.
Absolutely. Gold buckle for sure. So we'll get that in the works. I actually looked them up today. They're really not that expensive. So.
No.
Yeah,
so
even the real leather. I'm getting real leather. None of that pleather crap.
Absolutely not. No, you got to go big or go home.
All right. So Matt Brandon's on the clock, and then you are up next. We just had Kyle Pitts go off the board at 4-1. A lot of people, get down on rookie tight ends, but I really feel like with no Julio Jones there, they have a huge hole in targets. I believe in Matt Ryan. All he does is finish top, 8 at quarterback every single year.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that, I don't think you're going to lose your league necessarily if you take Kyle Pitts there. But someone that I think that, and I don't like saying these things in the middle of a draft because then other people are going to take him. But I really like Russell Gage this year for that reason, in that someone else is going to also have to eat up targets that are left behind by Julio's vacancy. And he had a lot of good looks last year as well while Julio was injured. So he's someone that I like as a deep flyer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. You're not going to see him last too long in this particular draft. There has been some video. There has been some articles. we like the guy. Let's just say that.
I know. I definitely talked about him a little bit ad nauseum in one of my articles, but I like the guy. So you can't blame me for liking the guy.
You are on the clock.
I'm on the clock. Oh, shoot. Let's go. This is tough. This is going to be one of those situations where you just grab your guy, though.
Doc chimes in with white leather screams, "Look at me."
Yeah, that's what I think. White leather says, "Look at me. I'm a winner."
PD Stitz appears to like your Josh pick. Will you please him with your next pick?
I don't know, but there is pressure drafting amongst all of you guys to make sure that I don't mess this up. All right, we're going to go with Chris Godwin here, and I feel pretty darn good about it. There's good volume there. PPR prospect as my second wide receiver. I really love that combo at wide receiver. Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin.
You're going to see a lot of people have Godwin as their wide receiver 1, which is questionable to me.
I agree.
But wide receiver 2, when Adams is your number 1, I can get behind that.
Heat, you want to throw some more of those fire emojis back and forth in the comments? Because that's how I feel about this pick. Let's go.
All right. I'm just going to keep, sticking to my playbook, and I'm just going to keep going to it. I just love the reports coming out from Matt Stafford to Robert Woods and the relationship that they have been building. I live near the Detroit area, although I am not a Lions fan. I have seen a lot of Matt Stafford play. I can't wait to see him with a competent line and amazing weapons in Los Angeles.
Me too, 1,000%. I cannot speak highly enough of Matt Stafford, and I feel like he is someone that is going to win a lot of people their leagues just because he's going to have easily over 4,000. He's going to have 4,000 yards. I think I have him at like 4,300 yards this season, just based on those weapons that he has. He has so many people to target. And with McVay's offense, you know that every single receiving entity is going to eat up those targets. So it's not going to be like there's mouths left to feed. There's plenty to go around.
So Eric's like giving us the eyes here saying, how about those, the Pitts pick? Well, you have the invite to this broadcast, man. You could be in here and tell us all about it. So why don't you find that StreamYard link and click the button, and then I'll let you tell us all about it. How about that?
It was in the staff email, Eric. It was in the
staff email. Yeah. Private chat of the draft. It's all there. Come on now.
Ooh, Kyler Murray goes off the board. I'm excited to watch him too. He is shaping up to be a fantastic quarterback.
I tell you what, he was right there in consideration when I took Woods, because I just, I like him, but I like getting my 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers off the board immediately. So
I get that. And can't go amiss that you took Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp went right after him. I think that's pretty common for a lot of drafts. They're going back and forth, either Kupp and then Woods or Woods and then Kupp. I know a lot of people are still high on Woods, but Tate did say something on one of our fantasy debate episodes that I thought was interesting, in that Stafford really loves the slot receivers, and Kupp does tend to line up mostly there. So maybe this is going to be a resurgence, and this is going to balance out the 2 receivers, and Kupp is going to come back and be the number 1 again.
All right. Eric says 3-year-old falling asleep on my lap. We'll let him be.
I guess that passes. You don't have to join the live stream.
All right. Allie, your pally. I'll get to your comment in a minute. But first, I got to bring Kickman on here because I can see little thumbnails of everybody in the green room. And when Mark Andrews went off the board, 1 pick before his, I saw his hands hit his forehead and fall back in the couch.
Well, it wasn't just Andrews. It was DJ Moore, Kyler Murray, Thielen, everybody, Robert Woods, everybody before that was in my queue. And then I was like, okay, I had settled I was going to go to tight end then. And then all of a sudden, so yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, that was a tough, I couldn't believe it. Every single one of them. So then I got stuck with Gus Edwards.
Well, that's okay. I like Gus, and I think that people are going to be able to get him just a little bit deeper than he had been going over the last week with the signing of Le'Veon Bell, but I don't think it makes a dent. It's going to be weeks before he's up and ready. He's going to be the number 3. I'm not worried about it at all. So I'm
not worried either. Yeah. I mean,
I'm not either, but
no, I was just going to say, even with, even when Bell's healthy, he does not look like the Bell of old. So he's not going to be eating into any of those attempts for Gus Edwards. And I think that Edwards is going to have a really good season. So I think it's a good pick, especially in the 4th round.
Yep. I was happy with it.
All right, Kick. We'll see you in a bit. What do you think there? Mark Andrews, Gus Edwards, Lamar Jackson, Ravens, back to back to back.
I'm not surprised by it. I mean, it doesn't surprise me as much as we had that, what was that, 6 wide receivers that went right in a row before Kyler Murray. So this is that part in the draft, the 4th round, where all those names that you have stashed away that you want to see if you can snag, you watch them slip through your fingers because you're drafting with a bunch of sharks.
And of course, all of us have been putting together the rankings, the projections, the articles over the last month together. It's going to be hard to pull one off on any of us today, I feel like. So.
No, but when we can, it'll be fun.
It will be funny. It'll be funny. So I haven't really seen anything surprising. I mean, Pat Holmes went a little earlier than I figured, but, I can't blame that. He's going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, you're not going to lose your league by taking Patrick Mahomes.
Allen went a little earlier still, but I understand your reasoning.
I like him.
Yeah, I'm usually a pretty late quarterback guy. I'm really not seeing anything a whole lot here. We have Trey Sermon going in the 5th round, 2nd pick to kick right after Gus Edwards. It's going to be a little bit of a slower start for him, in my opinion, but I think, every single week, even if both Mostert and him are healthy, you got 100-yard carry possibility from both every week.
Absolutely. And then I really like Mike Davis there. I'm kind of mad about it because I was hoping he would fall a little bit further, but I think he's going to have himself a nice season as well.
All right. So I'm on the clock. So.
You are. Who are you taking here? Who are you going back and forth between? I know you got a couple.
I know.
Let us peek behind the curtain.
No, I'm thinking about a quarterback, and I'm thinking about that because I've let it slide a little too far in several drafts.
I can see it in your eyes. I see you. Just take him. Just take Russell. He's there.
I know. Here it is. Yeah. I just feel like, there's going to be a run here, and I'm going to be too late on it, and I just don't want to be in this league without an elite quarterback. This is too important of a league to let it drop too far.
Yep. I understand that. So wait, did you take him? Mine's on a delay.
I did. And then Julio Jones, and now it's you.
Shoot. Okay. There we go. Now it's me. Goodness. All right. So I'm sitting here with Adams and Najee Harris, Josh Allen, and Chris Godwin. So I'm feeling like I need to round it out with another running back. And who do we have here late that I like in a PPR format? I mean, I don't want to do Darrell Henderson dirty, but I think I'm going to take Kareem Hunt here because I just love his PPR floor. What do you think of that?
PPR? I mean, yeah.
He gets used in the passing game a lot, no?
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Yep.
Am I hating too much on Darrell Henderson?
Nope.
Just take it off.
No, just do it. Just do it. All right, we have a listener question.
Let's go.
Allie or Pally wants to know, could you have both Cups and Woods? Now it'd be difficult because they're literally getting drafted next to each other, but say even like a keeper league, are you ever doing Cup and Woods together in a DFS when you're stacking with Stafford? Sure.
Yeah. I think in DFS it makes a lot of sense. The only reason why I would avoid it in a redraft format is because obviously when you're playing fantasy and what you're trying to do is maximize the potential outcome at each position week to week. So if you have in your wide receiver 1 and 2, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, there's nothing really wrong with that, except for I feel like you're limiting yourself based on matchups. So what if they have a really tough matchup that week and they both get shut down? Then you have lost out on both of those positions where you could have had someone else on a different roster that had a better matchup. So I think that you just limit yourself in redraft for that reason. Now, again, DFS, roll the dice anyway. If they've got a great matchup, then do it. I don't see anything wrong there. But at the same time, I feel like you just limit yourself too much to have both wide receivers from that same offense.
Yeah, even in the keeper league, I think I'd have a hard time with it. I don't mind taking a Cup or a Woods and then going to get Van Jefferson later to have, that deep threat and to have that backup in case your guy goes down.
Yeah.
But, let's talk to Matt Rumack. Rumack, are you there? Are you still there? His screen is black. Maybe he's not there.
Maybe he's left the green room.
Maybe he went to get a beer. That's possible. Oh, there he is. He's back. Wait. Oh, he's sideways. He's like, I'm going to give him a second. All right, here we go.
Draft. I can't do it at the same time.
All right. I like it. Yeah. So we'll give you a quick shout out because you got a little bit of time left. You went with Kamara in the first. Are you surprised he went 5th in a PPR?
That was a no-brainer. Yeah, I was surprised. The only one I was going to pass over was Henry. So if the other 4 were there, which Kamara was, that was a no-brainer.
Obviously, I like the Metcalf pick. We talked about that a little earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of George Kittle. Man, that guy can stretch a field.
Yeah. Thank you for liking the Metcalf pick, because I was going to take Hopkins if he wasn't taking one ahead of me. But after taking Metcalf, I then went and took Lockett, and Matt Brandon went and told me he doesn't like having two receivers on the same team. But isn't that like 60% of Russell Wilson's targets?
Yeah, that's probably true. That's
Very
probably
true, actually, yeah.
And he's pretty good at football.
Yeah, big fan of Kyler Murray. I thought about going there instead of Woods. Yeah, I don't know, man. Metcalf and Lockett on the same team. I know we just talked about it, so I wanted to kind of bring you in to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, that really is like, I don't know, 60% might be conservative, might be like 75%.
But here, like what you mentioned before, this league is different than maybe others because we've got a double flex position. So you're not completely limiting yourself in terms of potential PPR targets just because you have both in the same offense. So I think it also dictates the format that you're in on your strategy too. So I don't think that that's wrong. You've got two other spots that you can fill in with other receivers and not miss out.
My point, if you had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, you'd be happy, right?
Yeah.
True.
This is true.
I know they're not the same. It's not exactly the same, but that's my point.
Same, but different. They're a little bit different in height.
All right. Well, your pick's coming up in a few. I'll let you get back to your screen, my friend. So my only problem with Lockett is like he literally had like 2 40 and 50-point games last year, and that was like half of his production. So that's my only issue with Lockett. I don't mind taking him in the 5th round. I think that's totally fine.
How do you feel about my Hawkinson pick? I was so excited.
He's a lion. He's a lion. How can
He
you be
is
excited
the
about
offense.
lions?
The
I
offense
guess I
is
should
going to
pick
run
somebody, huh?
through him. Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, that's okay.
3 seconds.
I want
Danger.
Darrell Henderson. It's fine. It should go. Yep, there it goes. I needed a running back. I know I have Woods already, but I've got Eckler and Mixon. I think Henderson is talented enough.
Wow. So how do you feel about the Rams? You have like basically the starting.
Like, I could still take Stafford later. I'm just saying.
You could stack it all up. Never know.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I like Darrell Henderson. He kept dropping because he's been beat up a little bit. But I like that offense. I want pieces of it.
I get it. It's going to be a high-powered offense. Lots of targets, lots of attempts to go around. So it definitely makes sense.
I probably could have gone Mostert there because he's my boy, but I really like having Mostert and Trey Sermon. So I couldn't get Sermon, so I don't want Mostert. I'm just whiny like that.
Wow, it really sounds like it. You like to pair. You like to pair your running backs like you do with wine and cheese. You you have to have them together or not at all.
That's right, together or not at all. All right, Matt Brandon, you've got a little time before we get back around to you. Let's bring you in here and let's talk about this. You've got Hill, Barkley, AJ Brown, Carson, my boy Ayuk, and Aaron Rodgers. Look at all these quarterbacks come off the board. See, I said if I didn't take Wilson there, they were just all gonna not get back to me.
I was going to go Russell Wilson. That was who I really wanted, and you took him a few picks before me. So I end you for that. And Sam, you're welcome, because if I didn't take Rodgers, Hawkinson was next on my queue. So you guys
thank
both
you
love
so much. That was just a nice gift that you gave.
But I'm liking my team. I got a top 5 quarterback, give or take. I got 2 top 10 receivers in Tyreek and AJ. My running back room is a little risky with Saquon and Chris Carson, but if they both pan out, this is an easy contender. And then I got Ayuk as my top flex. So, I still need a tight end, but I like to wait on tight end in most leagues. So, we'll see. I'll wait and maybe grab I don't know, Tyler Conklin. Just joking. I'll go somebody a little better than that.
Yeah,
there's still a lot left out there. So, I mean, I definitely get waiting on tight end as well. There's a lot of depth at the position. I'm going back and forth, and a lot of mocks that I did when I took tight end late, I ended up with Dallas Goedert, and I wasn't that excited about it. I think it's because I know that Ertz is still there. So how much is he really going to beat him out is my question.
I can't wait.
Goddard a lot. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, tell me about Goddard.
I was just going to say Goddard is my main late round tight end not late round, but mid to late round tight end target. I think he's very, very good. I think he's better than Zach Ertz, and I would not be surprised if Ertz moves to another team before the season is over. I wouldn't even be surprised if Ertz is benched at some point. Father Time's creeping up. He was okay for a few games last year, but he's not who he once was. The Eagles have every incentive to kind of, shift the changing of the guard and move towards the Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert combo. So, with the Eagles' lack of receiving weapons, I think Goddard is a great guy to target in the middle/late rounds of your draft.
I dig it. Well, thanks, Matt. We'll get back to you in a little while. Let's let him take his drink of water. Get back over to Mr. Heat Override. You took Michael Thomas at 6'12". Tell me about this.
Look, Michael Thomas is the hammer that wins you your league. People keep taking him around this point right now, and you got to remember, he's going to have, they're projecting 217 points. That's going to come at the end of the season when you need to win your championship. And oh, by the way, bye week is done for him. So that man's going to be in your lineup every single week. You got to put him in there because I know I'm going to get my back end perfect. So, that's my home run hit, bro.
Fair enough. I appreciate you, man. We'll get back to you in a little bit.
Danger, you're on the clock, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm looking. Thank you for the heads up. Why don't you talk to him about our in-season tools? We got wide receiver cornerback matchups. We got all kinds of stuff.
Wide receiver cornerback matchups. We've just got matchups across the board and projections and rankings and anything that you guys possibly need to help you set your lineups week to week, plus amazing articles from every single one of our analysts. So don't forget to subscribe. Use code WIN and get 10% off. Let's get you those wins this season. We've got you covered on DFS as well. So we literally have everything you could possibly need to not only set your lineup confidently, but win every week.
Absolutely. You're getting up here. You got one pick in front of you. And so I will take over. We have what's the pace of play? That's the word I was looking for. We have pace of play reports, snap reports, you name it. It's all there. DrRoto.com. Definitely got to get that NFL Insider Plus. Sign up, get it done.
Sign up, get it done.
All right.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
I took Deebo Samuel because I can't let a draft go by without having a 49er. Tom Brady goes right after that, which leaves Sam on the clock.
Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and take your Raheem Mostert from you.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I really do. I really thought about him there at 6. I just knew I wanted Deebo, and I didn't necessarily want Deebo and Mostert. I know I have Henderson and Woods, but I don't want to get overly invested in my own hometown team. So I'm going to do that. How are you feeling about your draft?
I'm really happy with my draft. Considering who I am drafting with, I'm pretty stoked with my team. I started off with Devontae Adams, got Najee Harris in the second, got Josh Allen. He's going to bring home all of the rushing yards for me. I've got Chris Godwin after that, took Kareem Hunt for the PPR upside, and then I got TJ Hawkinson, who is basically the entire offense for the Lions, and I finished that up with Raheem Mostert, and then I'm waiting for the turn so I can go again.
I like it. Adam White, who helps us with golf, calling me a homer.
You're
a homer, Adam White. You're a homer. He used my full name. I don't know how I feel about that. That's like my mother, Jonathan Danger.
Do you feel in trouble?
I think that's just because it tagged me on Facebook. We'll let that slide. We'll let that slide. So Claypool was the other guy I was looking at with Samuel. Do you have a preference between Deebo and Claypool?
I like Claypool just a little bit more, but then you'd call me a homer for saying it.
Right.
And I was going back and forth between Claypool and Mostert there, but I didn't want to let a running back of his caliber slide. And so for me, I wanted to make sure he's a depth pick for me because I plan on playing a lot of wide receivers in this team.
Fair enough. Hopefully we can get Eric in here to talk a little bit about his team. So it's always interesting being on that turn. Always. Oh, yeah. I like his kind of risk reward strategy he's going with here, especially with Hurts there.
Yep.
Devonta Smith, Kenny Galladay, if healthy, is a stud if Daniel Jones can get him the ball. So he's got a big risk reward in his last few rounds.
Yeah, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it works out for him.
I love Jerry Jeudy, just for the record. So that's great.
I love him too. He's good. We're waiting on Matt Brandon to make his pick, and I bet that he's just waiting to snipe my player that I'm trying to get next. Don't you do it.
He's going to do it. He's
do it.
going to do it.
Don't do it.
All right. I'm going to go back to Kickman while we're waiting for a couple of picks here.
Yes.
Mr. Kickman, how are we rounding out for you?
I really like my team, but I'm really struggling on to what I'm going to do here. If I should target a quarterback or a tight end to kind of fill in a little bit, but I'm struggling. I don't really like any of the quarterbacks right at this time. I feel they're all the same.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of this league go single quarterback. So I feel like quarterback depth is going to be okay for you.
That's what I think too. So that's what was struggling with. But yeah, I really like my squad. I think I got a lot of upside. I think Heat was wrong at picking Michael Thomas where he did. He could have waited a couple rounds on that. That's just my opinion, Heat.
But sometimes when you want a guy, you got to take him, and when he's on the turn, it's a lot of picks until.
No, that's what I'm finding out. Danger. That's what I'm finding out with my picks too. I'm going for guys that I want. I thought maybe I might have taken CD Lamb a little early, but I really wanted him, and I knew there was no way he was going to get back to me. So I'm taking maybe guys a little earlier than I might, but that's what you got to do when you're at the end. And then you got Heat trying to snipe me everywhere. So.
I don't think that that's too early for CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion. I think that makes sense. And this is also the situation where you know who you're drafting with. So like you said, you weren't going to get him anywhere else just because he's not going to be around long. So you got to get your guy. If he's who you like there and you weren't super high on anyone else, then you go get your guy.
That's right.
That's what I did.
Appreciate it. See you in a bit, Kick. All right, Ron, we haven't talked to you in a little bit. You just caught up with your tight end pick, Robert Tanyan. This guy had 11 receiving touchdowns last year, tied only by Mr. Travis Kelce. Can he repeat?
Absolutely. I've heard he's had a great camp, but the main reason I draft Robert Tanyan, he's a good football player, but also he's a fellow Indiana State Sycamore like myself. So he joins me. It's me, him, and Larry Bird on that Mount Rushmore from Indiana State Sycamores, the Fighting Trees, ladies and gentlemen. And real quick, Cole, I got to ask you a question. You said earlier you were whining about your 49ers running back picks, and you were whining there a little bit. So my question to you is, are you going to name your team the 40 Whiners?
Well,
Let's
we'll
go.
see. The team I drafted last night, I named the Moster under my bed.
Ooh, that's
adorable.
Good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
good
good. I
one.
like that. I like that.
That was a good one. And I have Mostert on that team. It was very important when you name a team about a player that player be on the team.
Ketchup and Mostert.
Ketchup and Mostert.
That's
Love
right.
it.
Ketchup and Mostert. I like it. All right. Well, I appreciate you, sir. I got a couple more questions for you, but we'll come back around to you in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jason, you ready for me?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. I left you alone a little bit because I was waiting for that DJ Chark pick to come up under your name.
Nice. Well, you got your wish. I just wanted to make you happy. I know we started with a little joke on it, but yeah, I'm completely all in on DJ Chark. A lot of my evaluations are different than the consensus. It's not me thinking I'm smarter than everybody else. I just trust what I see, and I evaluate these prospects when they come out of the draft. And the number one wide receiver the year DJ came out, even though he was drafted at the end of the second round, DJ was my number one wide receiver that year. Now we've seen a couple years of development. He's 100% healthy going into the regular season, and instead of Blake Bortles being quarterback and Gardner Minshew, he's got sunshine. That's it. Absolutely. So I think Shark's going to shatter what the expectations are for him this year.
I love it, man. And I'll tell you that Landry pick, brother, I don't know how he lasted to the 8th round in this league. Personally, I think he's criminally undervalued this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially with that offense. I think the Cleveland Browns are right there in the conversation with the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. That team, if they were called any other team, no offense, Sam, but if they were called the Pittsburgh Steelers with that same talent on the offense and defensive side of the ball, they'd probably be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. There's a lot of talent. They've got depth. And I like a lot of their offensive weapons, especially Mr. PPR, Jarvis Landry.
He is Mr. PPR, and I definitely prefer him far more over Odell this season, so I definitely like that pick as well. But I don't want the Browns to go to the playoffs. Just on a personal note.
Thanks, Jason. Okay, Heat, you're gonna be my controversy guy all night. I can see it. All right, first let's talk about the good. You took my man Logan Thomas, which I actually have ranked in my personal rankings. Number 5 tight end this year. Number 5 is where I have him.
Dude, I was like, if Tanyan or Thomas comes around to me, I'm so taking him. And then I just slam the hammer with the Rams defense right there because somebody's got to think of defense in this league. And I'm going to do it because the Rams are going to have those games that can win you the simple week of that. So I'm going in, man.
But in round 9? In round 9?
Yes.
You have time. You could have
You wait. Oh, yeah. You wait to see how many points those Rams defense scores this year.
I'm sure that they're going to score a lot. But I mean, I'm super excited for whatever flex opportunity you gave me and whoever else is left on the board. Just to me, I never go early on defense, even if it's for the Rams defense. I get it, but I think there's so many better ways that you can stream defense than take them in the 9th round.
You can.
I'm a little disappointed.
It's, to me, the defense, and I am an IDP guy. The defense is always the Achilles heels to most of the players in your leagues. So once you sever that, you just put yourself in a winning position every week. You know, in one league, I got the Rams defense and the Steelers defense. Man, ain't nobody going to have sacks and touchdowns like those two teams. That's a win-win right there.
All right, man. We'll catch up to you pretty soon. I'm going to cut him off before I say this. I picked the Rams to take 4th in that division.
Oh, yeah, it's probably better you cut him off because
they may all make the playoffs, all 4 of them.
They could, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
okay, I didn't really pick the Rams to take 4th, but
you're just trying to wind him up, aren't you?
I'm just watching them squirm over there because he can't add himself back into the room.
He's like, let me back in there. Let me back in there. He wants to go off. He's just trying to upset you. Don't take it personal.
Right. I got to say, Jason Braddock here, without bringing him back in because we just talked to him, is really sticking to his brand, man, with Laviska Shenault. I mean, we have talked many times. I've been helping him with his Braddock's breakdown. Awesome content here at DrRoto.com. And he is putting his money where his mouth is, his mouth where his money is, however you say that. Every player we've talked about, him and I, over the last month, he has put on his team. So he is staying on brand, and I love it.
I love it too. I mean, I think it's, it also says a lot when you see everyone sticking to their guns in terms of who they love and not wavering from it.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Am I up next? No. Are you?
No, I'm up next.
Oh, shoot.
Not on the clock quite yet. But,
it's going to start slowing down because people are starting to scroll. Russell Gage is taken. Damn it.
Yeah, he was on my list probably round 10. I knew he probably wasn't going to make it to me. So
I literally have a post-it note of one name on this computer. This is draft day situation. And what does it say on it? It says Russell Gage. Can you see it? It says Russell Gage.
I can't. I'm looking. You're trying to distract me. It's my turn. My turn now, Sam.
Sorry. My bad. Just trying to get you to auto draft.
Right, so we don't have Cam on the show here. Let's talk about his draft here. Why don't you look through that while I'm trying to make a decision?
Okay, fine. I will help you with that. So Cam took Derrick Henry number 1 overall, and then he took Patrick Mahomes. No one's going to, scoff at taking Mahomes there in the 2nd round. And he's got Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, T. Higgins. I like that pick. Then Rojo as his 2nd running back off the board, backing up Derrick Henry. Love that too. And then I'm going to like this pick. He's got Juju there in the 7th. And then he took Mike Williams and Kenyon Drake. Nice little cleanup there on the running back position. I also like Mike Williams there for the Chargers. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with someone who's taking receptions from Justin Herbert and going ahead and capitalizing those targets. I like it. I like it a lot.
All
now
right,
I got to pick.
I've distracted you 30 seconds into your pick.
How dare you? You did that on purpose.
I might have. Maybe I did.
My goodness.
So I'm going to take a look at Doug's draft, Roto Daddy. He is in between you and I, one of our fabulous contributors and editors on the show. He took Aaron Jones, Stephon Diggs. That's great. Miles Sanders has been kind of a polarizing pick this season so far. Some love him, some hate him. Where do you stand on Miles Sanders?
I'm not really on the Miles Sanders train, but I go back and forth with Tate on him a lot, and he talks me into it every time again. And then when I'm away too long, then I'm off the train again. But I think he does have good PPR potential. I mean, he's got a lot going for him. I think it's just that the Eagles can tend to let you down year after year, and that's the thing that keeps hampering. And like if he was on any other team, I probably wouldn't be questioning it so much.
Matt Branding is reminding me we have pace of play, both offense and defense. We have IDP reports. We have everything. He's got to keep me in line here with reminding us of the great products. I'm too involved over here.
Well, it's because our website is so deep. Like there's literally so much that you can look at, and you're not going to get bored finding these fun things and new tools every day to just scour. And especially for fantasy right now, everyone is just super excited for week 1 to start. You got every single kind of projection here. You've got Bob Lung's tiers as well. You don't want to miss that. And there's cheat sheets just across the board. I literally cannot stop scrolling and finding amazing content on our site.
Sam, trivia question for you.
Okay.
We've been open about 30 days, right? A little over 4 weeks.
Yeah.
At DrRoto.com, officially been open.
Okay.
We've got articles. We've got audio podcasts. We've got video podcasts. We've got cheat sheets and templates. How many of those do you think that we have posted in the 30 days that we have been live?
Ooh. I feel like this is going to be a really high number because I just know how many of these tweets I'm seeing. It's got to be over 100.
425 articles, videos, audio podcasts, tables, cheat sheets posted in 30 days by the 30 plus staffers here at DrRoto.com, waiting to help you win your fantasy championship in DFS dough.
That I'm kind of ashamed for guessing such a low number in comparison. Then, damn, that is a lot.
That's a crazy amount.
That is a crazy amount. I'm going to go ahead and take Elijah Moore right there. I always like to grab one of these random rookie receivers just to see where they end up panning out. So.
All right. Doug just sniped me. Darn you, Doug.
He took Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers was on my queue waiting for me to push the... You're making me... I like the young guy. You see, I've got Debo. I've got Waddle. I like these young receivers. You just threw me into a loop here. So... I got Moss. I could take Singletary to back him up. That's probably a terrible idea.
I love this. I'm saying Heat realized that I took James Conner in the last round, and I think he's not happy about it.
Where do I go? Where do I go? You really threw me in a loop, Doug. This is irritating.
I love it. Watching you go back and forth. Oh, I see someone there that I would like, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Okay.
Not going to say it.
Okay. Well, I'll believe in the offense, even though I believe that the star on their logo is not a logo, but a rating system. But I'm going to go with my boy, Michael Gallup.
Oh, I wouldn't have taken him.
Yeah, I like Michael Gallup a lot. I think he's underrated. If either one of those guys go down, Cooper or CD, he's right there to play. I just love Michael Gallup.
You missed out on Marquez Callaway.
I know. Man.
Who went right after.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I have him in a lot of places. I've got Fab out waiting for him. I just feel like I needed to diversify. I just like Michael Gallup a lot. I like that offense. I wanted a piece of it, and that's the last viable piece.
Oh, well, it's okay. It happens.
Scott from Delco wants to know, Devonta Smith go yet? That is a good question. I will look that up. He did go. He went first pick of round 6 to Nick. Or Eric. Nick.
Yep.
Eric.
And we are in the 10th round now, ladies and gentlemen.
We are in the 10th round. All right. So Kenneth Gainwell, I knew was going to go pretty early. Ron just snagged him. I'm going to go to Ron Rigney and talk about Kenneth Gainwell. We've had a lot of, discussions amongst ourselves as the draft season has gone along of who could be a runaway hit if given the opportunity. A lot of us here at DrRoto.com, we like Kenneth Gainwell. Why do you like Kenneth Gainwell?
Because I don't like Miles Sanders that much.
I like that answer.
I'm just, for whatever reason, I'm just not a believer in Miles Sanders, and he might go off and have a great season, but I just feel like he's got a lot of opportunity. I feel like it's not there. I feel like they're going to have to lean on that running game quite a bit. Although I do like the schedule that you have for those Eagle wide receivers, but I feel like with Jalen Hurts just kind of stepping into being that first year that he's been that starting guy, I feel like they're going to have to lean on that quite a bit. Miles Sanders gets nicked up a little bit. I feel like it just is going to take Kenneth Gainwell that little piece of daylight, just like he's reading those blocks, and he's going to get in there and take that job. And, he had a solid, underrated career in college, did a little bit of everything. And I just feel like he's kind of that complete guy that's kind of risen up the draft charts a little bit. But he's a guy that I've kind of been on a little bit, as the preseason's gone on, and just like more and more every week what I've seen out of him.
I dig it. Appreciate you, Ron. I like Gainwell a lot. I like taking Miles Sanders and Gainwell. I know that's kind of no brainer, right? Handcuff. But I actually think Sanders could have a huge year. But he also could. It's that whole Eagles, right? It's like Jalen Hurts could be huge, could be awful. Miles Sanders could be huge, could be awful. This team could contend for the division or have 3 wins. It's
it's one or the other.
Yeah.
It's usually the other, the latter.
Usually the
That's
other.
not doing well. Sorry,
right.
Eagles fans. Already gonna get people in my.
Yeah. There we go. All you have to do, really. All right, Jason. I'm bringing Jason back in. All right, Jason. All you had to do to figure out who you're going to draft is watch a few of your breakdowns with me that we did, because you're literally going right down our playbook.
I try to give it away. I put it out there. I try to give it away, and I don't say anything I wouldn't do. This is money we're talking about. This is business. So when I put something out there, I mean, that's my gospel. I might turn out to be wrong, but through every variable I look at and everything, this is what I like.
I dig it, man. We talked about Ruggs a lot, and I knew it too when I was making my pick, and I was looking down my queue, and I was just kind of flipping through there. I'm like, yeah, Ruggs is going to Jason next.
Well, I do a lot of reading. I tried. There's a philosophy I was taught a long time ago when I entered this business that read 10 times more than you talk or write. So I try to follow that philosophy and make sure I'm educated and read up on everything. There's a guy over the last 10 years I really started to respect as a beat writer, Victor Four, who covers the Las Vegas Raiders now and Oakland before that, or Los Angeles or wherever else they've been. Anyway, with this Raiders team, he talked about Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards, who I've been really high on as well. But with Henry Ruggs, said he gained 13 pounds of muscle when he came back in. And John Gruden personally has been working with him on using his speed on tunnel routes, underneath and intermediate routes, and not just 9 routes. So he could become a complete receiver. And I think people are sleeping on that Raiders offense this year.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Thanks, Jason. We'll check in with you in a minute.
I like that little nugget of info.
Rumac, after you make your pick here, we're going to go to you. But right now we'll go to Matt Brandon. Matt, how you like your shaping up of your team here from the 11 hole?
I got to say, I am stoked that I got A.J. Dillon with the 11th pick in round 9. If Aaron Jones gets dinged up, A.J. Dillon is a first-round talent. That's how good this kid is. We saw a little bit of what he did last year. Jamal Williams goes to Detroit. A.J. Dillon there was just no question in my mind that I was taking him. At the turn, I got a little flustered. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go running back or wide receiver. But with all the injuries that the Ravens are dealing with, Hollywood Brown, he's really the only guy Lamar Jackson can go to. So I took Hollywood. He's my wide receiver 5. I don't have to start him if I don't want to. So I feel pretty solid about my running back and wide receiver room.
It's interesting with Brown. If anything should happen to Gus the Bus, they might have to throw the ball.
Yeah, I know, right? Lamar can't throw it to himself, right?
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Oh, very interesting. All right, Matt. Well, I appreciate you. I'm going to head over to Mr. Rumac to talk about how he has been coming along. I try to avoid him when it's close to his pick because I know he's broadcasting from his phone and has to look at the screen. So you got a little ways for your next pick, Matt. How you doing here? I like Hines a lot. I think, if even with Taylor healthy, he gets a lot of targets. Wentz is going to have to check down a ton because that's just his style.
I was going to say, for an RB4, I'm super pumped about that pick. You saw what he did late last year. And also, I was going to say to Brandon, Lamar can throw it to himself. It's called running.
Right? I guess that's true, right? But, I mean, honestly, if they lose one more running back, they're in a little bit of trouble in Baltimore. A little bit of trouble. So, Curtis Samuel, I can dig that. Round 10. I think Beckham could possibly get back some form. And you took a 7th round pick on him. He's your 3rd wide receiver. You got Michael Pittman in the round after that, which is the clear number 1 in Indianapolis right now. What do you feel about Beckham? Obviously, you took him, so you kind of like him, but that's pretty good value. 7.5.
Quick question: we're family friendly here. We can't curse.
Yeah, let's try to be family friendly.
All right. So here, I at some point Beckham's got to complain enough to get his targets, right? Like he's got to make enough. He's going to make a lot of noise because it just hasn't been happening, at least to our liking, in the last few years. So I think he's gonna be in the coaches and Mayfield's ear all year.
He'll be kicking and screaming those side goals all over the place.
Well, I had to go ahead and I appreciate that, Rumac. We'll let you get back at it. I had to go ahead and take Jonnu Smith because I was trying to wait. I'm really high on Jared Cook this year. And, of course, Jason stole him from me. So the last tight end on my entire list was Jonnu Smith. So I figured I should take him after Gesicki went right before that. So had to do it.
Well, I'm on the clock now. And I'm going back and forth between a couple of guys. This is kind of tough.
Get into the nitty gritty. And what's sad is when I'm playing in the home leagues, half the players that have gone in the last 2 rounds are still sitting on the board. So this is making me think a lot harder than I'm used to. And it hurts my brain a little bit, Sam.
I see Heat there in the chat. Just pick up the Pittsburgh defense. No, I'm not taking a defense yet. That's my brand. I don't go early on defense. Although I see you go early on kicker as well, because you took Justin Tucker in the 11th round. So good to know where you're at.
I can say though, sometimes when you're looking at a kind of league where you've got your starters set, your wide receivers, or you've got your running backs already set that you can click into all your starting positions. Sometimes taking a guy that is going to get exactly 9 to 12 points every single week, no more, no less, isn't bad. I think I would, he still could have taken that another round or 2 later. But like we all said, if it's your guy and you're worried he's not going to be there and you got the whole turn to go before it's you again,
yep,
you got to take your guy.
You always got to go get your guy. I'm always for that. Now I'm back on the clock again.
I know, it's so fast.
It is so fast. I can't keep up. And I don't want to take someone too early. Ooh, this is tough. Shoot. How much time do I have? I have a minute. I'm okay. Going back and forth between 2 guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take Ramondre Stevenson there. And I don't feel bad about that. That's a nice little depth pick at running back for me. Pretty stoked on that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
I need to round this out. I love that I got James Conner where I did in the 9th. Before him, I had Raheem Mostert in the 7th. I had Kareem Hunt in the 5th. And I, of course, have Najee Harris as my number 1 running back. And I'm very happy about that. But I feel like I've got a very well-balanced roster here. Maybe it's just because I'm super stoked on having Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin just 1-2 punch at my wide receiver positions.
I'm not listening at all.
You're not listening?
No, I'm on the clock.
You don't want to hear how good my team is?
I'm on the clock. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you right now. All right, look, running backs are falling away. So I think I just have to bite the bullet. He's running back 1 on his team for the minute. And we're going to go ahead with that Ty Johnson pick. I don't have to start him. I already have 4 running backs. We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll just see how it works out for you.
We'll see. I've got 4 or 5, deep wide receivers I still like that I hope one comes back to me, but who knows in this group.
I know, right? And then in this group, just because it's good to know, but is this also the kind of league where you're not taking a second quarterback, as I see someone take a second quarterback off the board right now?
So there's been 2 teams to take a second quarterback.
Yep.
Both not here to talk about it. We've got a big guy here, Ron. He has taken Herbert in the 6th and Tannehill in the 12th. And we had Eric take Hurts in the 8th and Fields in the 12th. I'm more comfortable with Eric's picks because I'm just not so sure on Hurts or Fields. And I feel like once Fields takes that job, that he'll have some opportunities and maybe play some better matchups. And we'll see. I feel like both those guys are pretty volatile. So
I get that.
I think if you're going to take Hurts as number 1, you kind of have to have a backup.
Yeah. I also feel like taking a second quarterback in a one quarterback league, even if it's a late round quarterback, I feel like it's just a good defense just to make sure that the waiver wire is thin for your competitors.
Sure. Well, we just had another one, Joe Burrow, go from Rumac, who had Kyler Murray in the fourth.
Call him by his full name.
I know, right?
Kyle.
But for me, honestly, like, it's a 1 QB league. There's 12 of us. There's going to be a few people taking a backup. I've got Russell Wilson. He is a top 5 in my book. I like him a little bit more than Lamar personally, but that's just me. So I'm not going to take one. I'll give that away right now. I'm not going to take a second one. No.
Not a chance.
No chance. Not going to happen. Don't worry about that. Now it's time for the kicker and defense talk.
All right, now it's time.
So.
Well, I guess we could talk about the Rams defense, but they already got taken a couple rounds ago, so I don't have to talk about it now.
All right, right after we start talking about this, we have another Cousins going to Cam. If I have Mahomes, I'm probably not picking up anybody. I guess there's two philosophies there, right? No, you're never going to start anybody over Cam.
No.
But if Cam gets hurt, I'm sorry, Cam.
Mahomes?
Cam took him. Pat, if you have Pat Mahomes, you're not playing anybody other than Pat week to week, period.
Yeah.
However, there is a philosophy that could say if he gets hurt, and you should never play in case somebody gets hurt like that, right? You took him in the second round. You can't think about it. But if he gets hurt, what kind of points can you put up with the 19th, 20th quarterback? You're really, really screwed if Mahomes goes down. So maybe it's not the worst idea to have a late round backup for him.
I agree with that. I mean, you kind of, and then if anyone that's a Dak Prescott owner that had him last year would tell you that they wish they'd taken someone else, instead of been streaming quarterbacks from the waiver wire, just hoping that one of them would break. That was me in a couple situations. It was really brutal.
Yeah.
Just watched my season go down the toilet. So I think that if you're going to take a quarterback in the first 4 rounds, then it makes a lot of sense to back them up later, because you just do not want to be, up a creek without a paddle.
Right. All right. Let's go back to managing editor Matt Brandon. Matt, I know that. Is he frozen? He's frozen.
Oh no!
Is he there? He's not there. All right. Well, never mind, Matt. He's frozen, so we're not going to go back to him. Let's go over to Ron Rigney, since he's the next one on the list. Ron, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
Hello. I like Darnell Mooney.
I had him queued up. I was annoyed.
I like him a lot. I don't have McKissick on my draft board. Tell me why you like McKissick.
I think my love of McKissick last year in a couple of leagues I had him in, the guy's PPR gold last season. I don't see a whole lot of that changing. I know they want to get, Antonio Gibson in some different situations to get him the ball in space, and I look for him to be a little more involved. But you've got some Fitz magic back there. You got the Fitz beard back there, so I like this Washington offense a lot. But I just, I think it's just my adoration for him last year being such a PPR goldmine for me. But I'm taking him as my 4th running back. You mentioned it a couple times, Danger. This is a double flex league. I like personally in my flex spot having one of those PPR type guys in this PPR format, because if I learned anything from King's Classic last year, we start 3 flexes. And if I learned anything, it's just how ultra important those flexes are when they can get you. It doesn't sound like a lot. It's kind of like what Heat was saying with those defenses. It doesn't sound like a lot when a guy's getting you 8, 9, 10, 11 points. But when you start adding that up over the weeks, those flexes make a huge difference.
They can. I appreciate it. Now let's see if Matt has fixed his connection there. Matt Brandon, are you back?
I am back.
All right. I hear you now. I hear you. You're here. You might have a little delay, but I hear you.
All right. Yes, I'm back. Here we go.
Let's get back at this, my friend. So, first of all, you're the one pulling the strings on telling me to not forget the tools and whatnots we have. What have I missed? Anything?
So today we published the wide receiver cornerback report. We did offensive and defensive pace of play. We added air yards, very interesting tool. You can see all the 2020 air yards at every single position. And we also published our depth charts. We still figure out a few tweaks there, but it's looking pretty accurate. And our weekly projections are now up. So definitely tune in. Check out our weekly projections. Our weekly will be up tomorrow. Everything you need is at DrRoto.com. If you want to dominate, Doc is the guy that you want to follow. He's the guy that gives you the James Robinson every year. This year, he's given us another one. Make sure you check out his latest podcast if you want to see this year's James Robinson. We've got tons of great content, tons of great tools, lineup optimizer with expected roster projected ownership. So, everything you need to win FanDFS, and we got some gambling experts here too. Shout out to Matt Rumack and some of our other guys like Coach White. We got some great gambling experts. So if you want to make some money, this is the place to do it.
I dig it. Appreciate you. I'll let you get ready for your next pick, my friend.
Nice. Now we're in the very home stretch of this. We're in the 13th round, and we're going to start to see defenses come off the board. Washington football team just went. Buffalo Bills just went. Now, are you on the clock? Oh, Danger, you're on the clock. Are you going to go defense here?
You know I am, and you know what I'm going to do too, right?
Just to upset me. Yeah, there it is. You took my Steelers. I see you. I knew that would happen. I knew I wasn't going to end up with my Steelers. Crying out loud.
You knew it was going to happen. That team just has such an ability to cause turnovers that could become touchdowns. I got to stay on it.
You do have to stay on it.
All right. So Matt Ryan went in between us. I'll talk about that a little bit.
Yep.
I'm a big fan this year. I think he's being disrespected. He just literally finishes top 10 every freaking year. And he just became like the 20th off the board for us.
Yep. Definitely gets slept on every year. I'm going back and forth on this pick. Who do I want? I'm going to go ahead and we'll just have to bookend each other. So I'm going to take your Niners defense.
I like it. I probably should have gone Niners, but it was made for better radio to steal your Steelers. So. Well,
there we go. I took your defense. You took my defense. We're even. We'll call it even.
I like it. Hey, Heat. I'm going to bring you back out here for a minute. You're muted. I like that personally.
What's going on, people? I'm over here having a good time. I'm just like deep in draft picks. Bring it to me.
I love it. So, all right, look, a couple of things. One, you picked Cole Beasley.
Yep.
Emmanuel Sanders is also there. Gabriel Davis is also there. It's really kind of a mixed bag for the second target share in Buffalo. Why are you believing it to be Beasley?
Because Beasley always gets the job done. Beasley has what they call a playbook. And that playbook gets displayed during games. And when that playbook comes up, you better be betting it. Because that playbook is going to score. Now, he's beat the back end. He's not my hammer. Michael Thomas is my hammer. But when I come back around, I got this. And as for the defense, I got to say, was it Ron? Ron was right. Every point counts. When you said you took the Pittsburgh Steelers defense because of the points that they can get, there's going to be bad games, and the Steelers are going to destroy a team. That's a win that week. You can't just think about, well, this guy's going to get me 10 points in my flex. But if that defense scores 45, you out, bro.
No, I can see that. So, all right. So in defense of jumping early, everybody else is on their kicker. They're on their defensive picks. If you have some deep value guys that you like just as well as you could have gotten the 10th or 11th round, everybody else is picking kickers and defense. You're still able to get some deep value. So kind of a strategy that works if you really trust your deep picks.
It's Definitely. Where you can get your backups as well, too. This is where you handcuff. This is where you go, well, like, am I looking at Chuba Hubbard or am I looking at, Chuba? I'm sorry, man. I just throw things in there sometimes. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, I can get that backup right now. If I get your backup and it's a better situation, then that just makes all the more the sense. Like right now, Harris's backups hasn't been taken yet. So people aren't looking at, that Mr. Snell guy that got me in a lot of trouble and won me a lot of money last year and backed up James Conner perfectly. So Erie strong, Conner strong. So that's how we roll that there. And you got to come back around and think about what's going to make your team better. If you know somebody's going to get nicked up, it's why people are taking Gainwell. Because they don't believe in Miles Sanders.
For sure. All right, buddy. You are on the clock with 2 back-to-back to round out your team, so I will let you go, and we will come back in a bit. All right, Sam. It's coming down to the last pick.
Yep. And I've got a kicker left to grab. Yep, we just need our kickers.
We just need our kicker. So I think you and I are both kind of thinking the same way. We wanted, somebody with a high probability of getting some real game time. You took Marshall with your second to last pick. Tell me about Marshall.
I love Terrace Marshall. He is a part of the crazy wide receiver trio that was a part of the LSU domination when Burrow was there. And what I love about him is his consistency. He's just so efficient with the targets that he gets. And I love that about him. So he's going to maximize every single target that he's going to get from Darnold. And I cannot wait to see him skyrocket up the boards later in the season when we just see his name over and over again. I can't wait to just watch him and then just slide him up into the flex there and get to play him every week. I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a great player.
Yeah, I dig it. I took Paris Campbell. I think that he honestly has a shot to overshadow Michael Pittman in a few games, as long as he can escape those injuries. But taking them, deep flyer on him without T.Y. Hilton there, it's got me a chance for some real value near the very end of the draft.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good with these depth picks. I mean, there's a reason why we call them flyers. These deep round targets that we're trying to get. These are the guys that you're going to throw on at the very end and hope that they break out. You're hoping for someone big later. So you're looking for the James Robinson. You're looking for the Justin Jefferson. You're looking for guys that, are going to bank out later. And that's who I've got in my last 3 flex positions. I've got Marvin Jones, who's, a part of that wide receiver trio there for Jacksonville. I love that he's going to be paired up with Trevor Lawrence. So that he's going to see a good volume of targets. Ramondre Stevenson. With the moves that the Patriots have just made, I also like grabbing him. And Terrace Marshall, I'm just super stoked that I was able to grab him. So very excited for that. Grab my kicker and putting it home. Love it.
All right. Well, as soon as we're done here, I'd like to bring everybody on one time and let them tell me about their team for just a brief minute. And then I'd like you and I to go over just a few players that were not drafted and get some thoughts from you.
Okay.
All right. So we have completed this draft as soon as we get one last pick from Eric. I got my boy Koo. I love him. I just like saying the name. So, Koo.
Love it.
I dig it. All right. Matt Prater ends it up. Who was the last? Let's take a quick look here. The very last positional player taken, Williams, backup running back in Chicago. So kind of Mr. Irrelevant. Like that.
He is the Mr. Irrelevant. That's sad.
Yeah.
And then Lev Bell did go in that round as well. So he took him.
Yep. And you know what? These are all fine because all truth be told, the last 2 or 3 people you draft are probably going to get churned for waiver wire people anyways.
That is absolutely true. And I'm sure that I could go back through this and maybe drop someone to the waiver wires and pick up someone off of this that I think is going to give me some just, possibilities of bigger targets later.
Right. All right. Real quick, let's go through a few people. Let's get their quick thoughts. We'll start with Kickman.
Hold on.
All right, brother. Let's talk about this. You took Dalvin Cook, Calvin Ridley, CeeDee Lamb, Gus Edwards, Trey Sermon, Anderson Chase, Antonio Brown, Melvin Gordon, Lawrence, Kmet, Madison, Johnson, Colts, and Robbie Gould. What do you like the most? What didn't you like? Where did you think you maybe made a miss on?
I love my receivers. I think my receivers are as strong as anybody's out here. Running back, I'm okay. I'm going to need Trey Sermon to come on. Tight end, I went with Kmet just because he's a Bear and I'm here in Chicago, so I got to have one Bear on my team. So that was that, and he could be pretty good. So I'm okay with that too. I'm a little probably weak at quarterback, but I'll chase that. I'll do something.
Hey, and you know what? He could end up being really, really good.
Well, I figured since Braddock was taking all the Jacksonville receivers. Someone's got to throw the ball to him. So that's what I figured was not a bad pick.
Yep,
I
you're going to capitalize on all of those receivers he took.
Exactly.
I like it. Well, good luck to you, sir. I appreciate your time. Hang out with us a little longer if you want, but I appreciate it.
I'm doing another draft right now too, so it's great.
Ooh.
I had 3 drafts tonight.
Love it.
Man, getting at it. I love it. Love to hear it.
I love it.
Love to see it. All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you. We'll see you another time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, let's get Rumac out of here. Matt, you there?
Yep.
There we are. I knew you were like laying in bed, so I gotta admit that you look like you want to get out of here. So let's talk about this real quick. You love it? You like what you did? You feel like you missed a guy you really wanted out there?
No, I mean, like in the second round, I said I was going to take Hopkins instead of DK, but I'm not mad about having DK. I'm a big NFC West fan this year. I don't know if you noticed, but my 2nd through 6th round, all NFC West. So
yeah, like I just said, man, like I said, I was kind of joking with Heat that the Rams could take last place, but I mean, they could, and all 4 teams could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of Seahawks, couple of Cardinals. I'm all in on the NFC West, apparently.
Yeah, I see that. I like it.
Nothing
I like it.
wrong
Well,
with
I
that.
appreciate your time, sir. I look forward to seeing you. You're going to spend some time in our Discord talking about some of the betting, the live betting during games. So I'm excited for all that.
Yeah, and tomorrow with Lou, first High Rollers podcast, we'll be talking best bets, parlays, teasers, things like that. Football every week. It's going to be awesome.
We look forward to it, man. I enjoyed our time in the golf betting. We'll get back to that in January, eh?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
All right. Hey, are you Canadian?
Eh, I'm from northern Michigan. I mean, pretty darn close. Eh?
What's that about?
I like it. All right, Heat. You keep waving at me.
Dude, are you serious, brother, man? Like, come on.
What are you talking about? The Rams are going to be the 4th place team in the division. We're going to win the division with the league's best defense and Matt Stafford.
That is actually driven this year more than he's ever been to deliver. He's going to deliver the goods. Why do you think all these people are taking the Rams? The Rams ain't 4th. Seahawks suck. They're old. Their defense is washed up. We don't care about them. San Francisco doesn't know who they want to play at quarterback. And Arizona got all these nice little shiny places. But guess what? Their defense sucks too. And it's just going to play into the game. The only thing that holds the Rams back from a Super Bowl is Sean McVay. And I'll say that right now. I'm not happy with a lot of his plays, but I'll let that go. You could ask me about my team. I don't know if I like San Francisco more than I like Seattle. I actually like Arizona, but I actually don't like the other 2.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I got the gist of it there, man. I really like Damien Harris. I like him a lot. I was kind of disappointed that I didn't think about him before Henderson. I just like where he's at there. I think he's going to get a lot of play with Mac Jones. I think that's a good thing for his game that Cam is out of town.
Yeah, and another thing too is that there's been this just big hype up to Damien Harris. So if you're going to hype him up, then let's see it. If it doesn't, then the pick's a bust. But if it lines up and it's my 3rd or 4th and Michael Thomas comes in and just goes, like that's gold. So why not take a chance on that? And I have the front stacked anyway. So he's not going to get the PPR. But remember, it takes 6 catches to equal a touchdown.
No, true story. All right, I really appreciate your time tonight, and we'll catch you over in Discord. You're going to be doing some showdown shows in Discord and keeping our people on Twitch happy. So I appreciate
that's
you, buddy.
what I do. Talk a lot, have fun, and always remember to bring the pain. Oh, yeah.
I love it, man. We'll catch you soon. All right. Who's next here? Who wants to go to bed faster, Ron Rigney or Jason Bragg? I'm going to bet Ron wants to go to bed faster than Jason. So let's get to you, Ron.
You bet right. 5 a.m. comes extremely fast. So good call on that one. So what did I like that I did here? Colt Homer got my boy Jonathan Taylor 1st round. Like my receivers there. I think I got a lot of catches in a PPR format there. I got a lot of wide receiver wide receiver gold there in the middle rounds. I got my boy Terry Targets there for Washington, so I like what he's going to do. I felt kind of bad for DeAndre Swift there. He just kept getting passed over, and I felt like he was getting depressed because I know he wants to be on a team here at DrRoto. So I scooped him up. I like him as my RB2. I'm not crazy about it, but I felt like the value was really solid there, and it kind of illustrates a point that, as much as you go into a draft saying you don't necessarily like a guy, some of these guys become good values, can't pass them up. So I like the value I got there, and I felt like he's kind of interchangeable at that RB2 with Myles Gaskin. I thought I got good value there. Of course, I talked to you about my boy Robert Tanyan. I like Will Fuller a lot as my wide receiver 4. He's out week 1. I'm not going to play him week 1 anyway. So they play against New England. I don't like that matchup. But beyond that, I'm hoping that he has enough talent without those performance-enhancing drugs that he can maybe sneak into my lineup a little bit there. But I'm willing to take a shot on him as my 4 for sure, especially where I got him. Talked to you about McKissick and Gainwell. Like that Washington defense, that front 7 is nasty. They're going to be on that quarterback early and often. They're going to force some turnovers in that back end as well, some picks. Got my boy Hot Rod, my kicker with the rec specs for Indianapolis. And last but not least, I went with Baker Mayfield because, like you guys were talking about, if Dak goes down, I don't want to be scrounging a waiver wire for the Jameis Winstons of the world. I don't need those 30 picks. I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield because I think he's solid value there, but I think he's, like we talked about Beckham, we talked about Landry. He's got some weapons. He's taken a couple steps. I think he's a nice way to end my draft there.
So you're feeling dangerous.
I woke up today feeling dangerous. Danger.
I love it. Well, you have a good night, Rob. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys. It's been fun.
We'll see ya. All right, Jason.
Hi.
All right, buddy. He talked about it. He said you can't like all these Jacksonville wide receivers without liking Trevor Lawrence. So,
right.
I want you to just tell me a little bit about Trevor Lawrence first. I know it's not your spot here, your team, but
no, that's no worries. No, I grew up a Clemson fan, so actually, first before Trevor Lawrence played his first game when he was still in high school, and then again when he was getting ready to get his first start at Clemson, I said he'll be the first pick in the draft 3 years after 3 years of college ball, and obviously that's what he's done. That's how much his high school film jumped out. You saw number 1 NFL talent on his high school film. So it was amazing to me. And you look at Jacksonville, they're an incomplete team. This is a bad team. They had the number 1 pick in the draft for a reason. So they'll get down, get behind, and Trevor Lawrence is going to have to bail them out and throw the ball a lot. So Laviska Shenault, he's going to be like a little underneath glorified running back, if you will. Little pop passes, little underneath slot passes, and the PPR points are going to be there. DJ Chark's going to be the number 1, not Marvin Jones. DJ Chark's 100%. Marvin Jones is still dealing with that AC joint in his shoulder that he injured in the preseason game. I don't know if you saw it, but he walked off the field holding it, came back on one more play, tried it, caught the ball, went down again, came off holding it again, and he's on the injury report for it. So the health and the talent, and then if either one of them gets hurt, then the other one's value skyrockets that much more.
I dig it. You happy with your team? I mean, it's pretty much everybody you've been talking about, so I can't imagine you are not absolutely thrilled with your team.
Yeah, I always talk about value. I know a lot of people talk about their players and stuff. I don't have players. I have values, like guys that just my assessment is just off from the consensus. And it's been like that since summer. A lot of that, though, over time through injuries or practice reports and everything else, most of them rise up and it evens, and some will even go a little bit too far. But you still get, when you get to draft season and you go into the season, especially before week 1, you still get a lot of that consensus groupthink where people are too afraid to go too far away from the group. It's just the way most of us are built. It's just the way the mind's set up. Myself, I've been fine on an island since I was born. And if I see something, I'm going to agree with what I see. It's not conceit. It's just, I know the work I put in and I'm going to trust it. I know I'm going to be wrong some, but I'd rather be wrong with what I see instead of what the group says.
I dig it, man. So Trevor Lawrence confidence going to get shaken when he takes his first loss of a regular season football game in his entire life.
Well, luckily for him, he gets the Houston Texans week 1, so we can push that on down the road.
I was looking at a stat since he was a freshman in high school. He's never lost a regular season football game.
It's insane. It's like he was created in the lab to play quarterback. But that being said, I think the hype's a little bit too much on him. I think he's going a little bit I've seen him going like 12, 14 in fantasy drafts among quarterbacks. I mean, I think he's more like QB 21, but I know a lot of people are excited about these. And when you talk about how they're going to be behind a lot in games and tossing it, maybe the value is there. But I think with Trevor Lawrence, it's something he's going to progressively get better. If we're talking about year one right now, I went with Derek Carr in the next to last round because I had the stacks, Ruggs, Edwards, and Waller, and I got them all as backup. So it's like a free stack there in case they start playing up to my assessment. But it was so hard for me to pass on Zach Wilson because I honestly tell you this with no hyperbole. What I saw on film for this kid in college and what I think he'll be in the NFL year one and how bad the Jets are, where he's going to be throwing it all day, I think he breaks the rookie record for passing yards this year. And you want him on your fantasy team. Yeah, I absolutely do.
All right. I'm going to write that down in my book.
Go ahead and throw some money on that.
I'm going to write that down in my book, Jay.
There you go. There you go.
All right. I appreciate your time, my friend. Get some rest.
Thank y'all for doing all the heavy lifting. We appreciate it. Good night, y'all.
No problem. Good night.
All right. Last guess before we get into the people that weren't here. Sam, you're not getting tired on me, are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Come on. All right.
I've done so many marathons. Don't even get me started.
Matt Brandon, thanks for bringing up the rear. I appreciate ya.
Absolutely. No problem. Happy to be here. It was a great draft. I think everybody had a solid game plan. But I'm telling y'all, I'm going to take this league. I was able to get Devontae Booker with the second to last pick in round 15. So just in case Saquon's not ready to go, I know Booker's nothing special, but, he could be an RB2. He can cover me. And I really like Jamal Williams as my RB4. I think he can, outproduce his expectations. My only weakness, in my opinion, is the tight end position, but I doubled up with Goddard and Tyler Higbee. I'm hoping one of them will, become a top 5 tight end. Not very likely, but if one of them can put up top 7 numbers, I think I got a pretty solid squad with Rodgers at the helm, Tyreek and A.J. Brown, Saquon, Chris Carson, Ayuk, Chase Claypool. It's a solid squad, especially for PPR.
I dig it, man. I can't express to you how much I appreciate your hard work and time you put into DrRoto.com and helping us be where we are today. And I can't wait to see where we are in the next 30 days.
Things are going to be awesome. Things are just going to ramp up. We're going to do a lot of great things. Thank both of you guys for emceeing this thing. Danger's like the man, the legend when it comes to all the podcasts. Sam killing it on the fantasy debate. Look out for Sam's article tomorrow. Stock Watch. She'll be doing a buy, sell, hold every week. We're all looking forward to that. So thanks, guys, for emceeing this, and it was a great time.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Matt. We'll see you soon. All right, Sam. Why did you draft so poorly? Can you tell us why?
Wow. Why did I draft so poorly? I'm sorry. Shots fired. I thought we were friends. Okay, I'm just going to hang up. No, I love my team. Devontae Adams to kick it off. Number 1 receiver. Number 1 in your hearts. Number 1 in all the stats. And then we got Najee Harris, my homer pick. But I am so happy to have a piece of that PPR action as he is going to be so huge in the passing game. Josh Allen. Can't get mad about that. Chris Godwin. So as my 2 receivers, I've got Adams and Godwin. Love that. Got Kareem Hunt, TJ Hawkinson, just going to bring in so much volume from Stafford. From Jared Goff. That's going to be a big mistake all year long. But no, what I love is that the offense is going to run through Hawkinson. He is their number 1 receiver. So that is someone that you can't miss out on when they're the number 1 receiver on their team.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Hawkinson, but 6th round and the 6th tight end off the board.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic value. I can't get mad at that. And I know you love my Raheem Mostert. Yep. So I got him. You're just bitter. No big deal. And then I got Cortland
I could have taken him. I took Henderson instead.
Yeah, sure. Have fun with that. I took Cortland Sutton, and then I got James Conner late in the 9th round, which I'm happy about as well. Elijah Moore, Marvin Jones, Ramondre Stevenson. Took your Niners defense. Terrace Marshall is my late sleeper that I love so much. And then I got Jason Sanders as my kicker. I'm very happy with my team.
No, very solid. Very solid. I kid.
We should do a post with all of with the full draft board and have people vote for the best team.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah. The only thing I really am disagree with you on is Kareem Hunt, and but that's just like a mild disagreement.
And I mean,
Like mild.
He's not someone I love either, but at the same time,
Right.
I feel like he is going to be utilized in PPR formats.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's there
argue with
for
that.
me. He's just in case.
And
I'm
just
really
like when
excited
you
for him.
look at Kareem Hunt and
Yeah.
you look at, really he's going to be your RB3, even though
Yeah.
you drafted him as RB2, right?
Pretty
So,
much.
That's the only mild complaint. That's it. That's all I got for you. I wish I could complain more, but you did a good
Thankfully,
draft.
I'm very excited by the rest of my team. I think
like
that
it.
it's all very balanced out. Got lots of little flyers going on back and forth. Do you want to look at players that are left on the board?
Yeah.
Just top 3 across the board. We can
could.
do that.
Well, let's take a quick look at just a couple of people that I was not surprised, I guess. But Rondale Moore, the guy who's kind of carved out number 2 role, catching the ball from Kyler Murray, not drafted.
Yeah, I think that's someone who's probably going to get picked up in the first week of waivers, to be honest.
I mean, I might just pick him up now.
Wow. Okay, fine. Be that way.
I'm going to just throw Paris Campbell away and just pick him up.
Do it.
Ty Johnson. Why did I even draft Ty Johnson?
I dare you. This is where you go back and you're like, I'd rather have him. I'd rather have him.
Right? This is what I'm saying. I feel like I'm okay with Jonnu Smith as my tight end. He was literally the last guy on my start worthy board. Maybe Everett or Higbee, maybe, but
I do like Higbee, but that's a personal favorite.
Yeah, but like I feel like with guys like Evan Ingram who could come back, a little healthy. We'll see what happens with Zach Ertz, but this is your wheelhouse here. A guy I'm going to keep starred in my watch list, Pat Freiermuth.
I like him. I do like him a lot. And he's had some good showings in the preseason as well. Could be a good red zone threat. However, you do still have Eric Ebron there, who's going to still see a couple targets. So,
and Ebron wasn't drafted either, so
he wasn't.
Really see how it kind of plays out.
You can probably stream these tight ends back and forth week to week, but you have to know that Pat Freiermuth was also drafted because he is an amazing blocking tight end. He's a specialist at that skill. So he was definitely brought on for that because, as I've heard a couple times, the offensive line is a little bit weak in Pittsburgh.
All right. Who do you see in the running back area? Anybody at all that you think should have been drafted or deserves to be on a roster in this kind of a league?
I feel like in this kind of a league, James White is someone that is going to have his weeks. And so he's going to be picked up, probably let go a couple times throughout the season. But I think that in a league as deep as ours, he's someone that should be rostered, especially given the new quarterback at hand there.
Let's be fair. It's only 15 roster spots in this. So a lot of drafts are 17, 18.
All right.
So if we had a couple more rounds, you're going to see, like Tyson Williams, not drafted. Now, if you're in a 17 round draft, probably picked up.
Probably. Now, Chuba Hubbard could get picked up. Should anything, knock on wood, happen to McCaffrey, he's going to have that backfield. So, he's someone else that could get picked up. Good handcuff that probably should have gotten grabbed.
So I already named one wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got there?
All right, you had more. And I already said I wasn't high on the Eagles, but Rager is sitting there. He's going to get a couple looks. So do like that. I do like Gabe Davis this year.
Love him. He was actually on my list. I was going to follow up, but with the draft was happening so quickly when I asked Heat about Beasley, but of course we get quickly sidetracked when we talk to Heat. I really like Gabby Davis. I feel like Emmanuel Sanders' days are numbered, and that Davis is really going to be the number 3, and maybe later in the season challenge Cole Beasley for the number 2 spot.
I absolutely could see that with his talent. I think that he's someone that could vie for that wide receiver 2 very easily. And, with someone like Josh Allen, who's got a lot of firepower, a lot of targets to give out, Davis is someone that is going to need to be rostered and probably be rostered again before week 1 is over.
And I should know this as the commissioner. I don't know if we have return yardage, but I wonder if Gabby Davis goes back to getting some more return looks with Emmanuel Sanders coming on board.
Yeah, I could see that.
But that would be interesting. I'm a little shocked that, and again, 15 rounds, and most of the drafts that I do are 17 and 18. Yeah. So MVS not getting picked up.
Yeah, I know. And then maybe it's because, Cobb is back. So you're kind of thinking that Randall Cobb's going to just get back into that wide receiver 2 role. But I think that MVS is going to be someone that people should be rostering even in, late rounds. Just take a flyer on, because Rodgers has proven that he is not going to stop. If he has the opportunity, he is going to bring the heat. And I think that Rodgers is someone that's going to make someone like MVS.
Bring the heat. Sorry.
He's going to make someone like MVS a star. So I definitely think that he's someone who should be rostered as well.
All right. So Jason said something about Zach Wilson being the rookie leader of yardage after the season. Do you believe that?
I could see that, honestly, just because they do have a lot of work to do on defense as well. So if they're playing from behind and he's got to have that arm just going off, it could happen.
Yeah,
crazy
I like
things have
him
happened.
and Mac Jones as kind of late round guys. If you're going to wait and take late quarterbacks, as your quarterback 2, not as your starter.
For me, I would rather have Wilson than Jones, just because you have that receiving threat. Whereas with Jones and the way that the Patriots work and run their offense, it's going to be run first. They're going to lean on the defense heavy.
100% going through Jonnu Smith. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's going to be run first. It's going to be a heavy defensive play. I just don't think you're going to have the volume in the receiving yards to put him over the edge.
So no believers in our league in Anthony Ferkser.
Apparently not. Everyone said no thank you.
And also, I am kind of banking on best ball OJ Howard a lot.
Really?
I feel like he could be the guy in Tampa Bay for that tight end spot if he's healthy. He's my best ball deep tight end pick. I'm not going to play him in season long until he does something. But
all right, best ball deep tight end. I get it. I mean, you could also say the same for Evan Ingram, but I feel like it is so crowded there, and I don't think that Daniel Jones has the ability to make him also be viable.
Fair enough. Any parting thoughts?
My team's the best, and I'm going to win.
All right. Well, maybe I'll find out who wins first before we decide on white or black or brown leather belt. We'll figure it out.
If it helps to save cost in terms of getting letters engraved, you can put Sam instead of Samantha. It makes it a lot easier.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah,
I'll keep that in mind. I'll make a note.
Jot it down.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Take us out of here, would you?
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. This was a really fun staff draft. Please go ahead and check out the rest of DrRoto.com for the rest of our amazing content. And don't forget to check out all of the projections, the rankings. We've got everything covered in terms of busts, sleepers. If you haven't picked up your draft kit and you are still drafting, don't forget to pick that up as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. And you can also check out everything that we have to offer in our members only Discord. We'll answer all of your individual questions there right here at DrRoto.com.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out DrRoto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.